Semen retention is the latest health craze on the internet. Many people are talking about the benefits of semen retention, how it's going to make you into a supercharged male. It's going to make you last longer in the bedroom. Women are going to somehow know that you've been retaining your semen. They're going to be more attracted to you, pundits say. But what does the research suggest? I think this is really interesting because we hear often over the last several years, I've been doing these health videos now for 10 years and have been in the health space for 18 years. And we've seen all these trends come and go. And this one is kind of interesting to me because as a male, you want to be intimate with your partner. And does refraining from that or postponing climax or avoiding climax altogether as a male, does that benefit you? And would it benefit her? Well, I think that's the most important question because if your woman, your partner, is not benefiting from intimacy, they're less likely to be engaging in intimacy with you because they're not benefiting from that. So what I think is interesting is this randomized controlled trial that was published in 2012 titled Ejaculatory Abstinence Influences Intravaginal Ejaculatory Latency Time. Essentially what that means is that during intercourse, abstinence does influence latency time. Guess what it does? It shortens it. Now think about that. If you're regularly having intercourse with your partner and it hasn't been that long, you last longer, right? Because you're used to having this all the time, like you're less excited, you're less, really revved up and so forth, and you're going to last longer. She's more likely to climax and it's going to be a better experience for both of you. Now, if it's been a week or two or more and you're like really revved up, you're probably going to climax early before her and she's going to be maybe a little disappointed unless you can quickly rebound and go for round two, right? This, guys, we know, many men know this and I think women know this as well. But we had this randomized controlled trial where subjects were randomized at 120 healthy subjects that were in partnered relationships, heterosexual relationships, were enrolled in this trial. They had group A undergo a 10-day abstinence period, and they recorded when they next had intercourse, how long it took them, the males, to climax. And they, in group B, the individuals were having intercourse several days per week. And at the end of the study, they looked at how long it took those men to climax. And it turned out that the men who abstained from sex for 10 days climaxed in a shorter period of time. So the latency time was reduced. And I think all you have to do is Google premature ejaculation. There's all sorts of self-helps and tips and things you can do, Kegel exercises, do this, ride a bike and, numb your stuff. There's all sorts of theories out there. And it turns out that if you abstain from intercourse, you're more likely to climax earlier the next time you have intercourse. Now, we didn't need a randomized controlled trial to prove this. Many couples know this, but I think it flies in the face of this whole idea of semen retention. Now, I'm not going to say that there's not any benefits to avoiding masturbation, especially to porn. And this, I think that is problematic for a lot of different reasons. We can talk about oxytocin and prolactin and just the negative spiritual aspect of porn. But I think if you are trying to please your partner as well as yourself during intimacy, more frequent seems to be better because you're going to have more ejaculatory control. Now, before we continue on to talk more about testosterone levels and all things related to this topic, I just want to say thank you all for being here. If you're enjoying the content, please hit that like button. Let me know what you think of this video and the study breakdown in the comments section below. And today's show is brought to you by our pals over at bondcharge.com, the makers of a range of different health promoting tools. Their infrared sauna blanket that gets really, really hot up to 170 degrees, but they also have a suite of photobiomodulation red and near infrared light devices that are amazing for your skin health, for soft tissue injury recovery, and in my opinion, really good ways to support healthy testosterone levels. I've been using photobiomodulation for a lot of years, I think since 2017. And I found that when I'm regular with this, when I go naked in front of my Bond Charge red light device, I find that it has improved my testosterone levels. It has an effect by possibly improving mitochondrial function and just blood flow and good energy to your genitals. And in my opinion, it's a great natural way to help support and optimize testosterone levels, among other things. Photobiomodulation is good for your skin. It's good for recovery. There's a lot of great benefits, and more research is supporting the idea that red light therapy and near infrared light therapy has health benefits. So you can save by going to bondcharge.com/HIH or click the link in the description below. Again, Bond Charge is one of my favorite companies. They have an amazing sleep mask. They have a PEMF blanket. They have tons of great tools to help you stay thriving. So getting back to the study, what I think is really interesting, again, researchers are trying to figure out essentially if semen retention or avoiding ejaculation if that will help men last longer in the bedroom or not. And it turns out that reduced ejaculatory frequency impairs ejaculation control. That is the conclusion of this 120-person randomized controlled trial. And what I think is also interesting is there's a large body of data to suggest, and this is important if you're trying to have a child, increased ejaculatory frequency increases the functioning and the health parameters of sperm as well. And this has been widely studied as well. So do I think there are benefits, in conclusion, to semen retention? Well, I'm all for the NoFap movement, not masturbating to porn and so forth. I do think there are benefits, if you've been promiscuous and using women, for exploiting them for sexual pleasure and things like that, and you want to, not embark on that anymore. I fully support that. In a period of abstinence, I think is a good way to be a little bit more in control of your sexual energy and utilize your energy properly, especially if you're spiritual, religious, and want to avoid STDs and unwanted pregnancies and women that will just cause havoc in your life and so forth. But if you have a partner saying, no, honey, we're not going to have intercourse because I'm practicing semen retention, I don't know that that's going to make you a better lover in the bedroom. I don't think so, because I think we have research to suggest and point this out, a 10-day abstinence period, it reduces the ejaculatory control. And so if you're already susceptible because maybe in the past you watched porn or you masturbate a lot and you were just used to training your body to climax very, very soon, I think that, you want to improve your ejaculatory control, having more frequent intercourse will enable you to have better control. And so I think the average couple, married couple, has intercourse about 50 times a year. So it's about once a week or so. And so if you're, if you're double that, well, studies suggest that you might be in a little bit more control. And again, that control can help because it turns out that, as you know, women take longer to climax. And so the longer that you can last, the more likely she is going to climax and the more likely that she will want to be more intimate with you. Because one of the things that research clearly shows in long-term relationships, there's a reduction in women to desire consistent sexual intercourse. The frequency of intercourse always goes down. There's a lot of research to support this. And so if you want to learn more about this, there's a great book called The Evolution of Desire. Really great overview of the differences between men and women in terms of their mating strategies and desire. And I think anyone who's in the dating space or single should absolutely read that. And anyone who's in a long-term relationship should read it as well. Novelty is really important for women. Warming up, emotional safety and emotional intimacy really helps women feel more inclined to engage in physical intimacy. And men should know that. And I think a lot of men don't. And also, having more control over ejaculation is going to help your partner climax, and that over time will help her be more inclined to be intimate with you. So again, I don't know that semen retention is some superpower. I really don't know. But I think the basic premise of avoiding masturbation and porn is a really good thing. But according to research, reducing the frequency of ejaculation actually worsens ejaculatory control. So I just wanted to share that with you. I would love to know what you think in the comment section below. As always, I'm grateful that you tuned all the way in. Thank you, Bond Charge, for sponsoring this video. I'll put links to their products in the description below, and we'll catch you on a future video down the road.